What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Golf on Tap. Jack Bushman here with my partner in crime, Joey Ricotta. Go and give him a follow on X at Joey Knows Nothing. You can find me at Jack Bushman2. Go and show some support to the show's page as well at On Tap Golf. And if you're not able to join us here live regularly, make sure to go and follow Golf on Tap. Wherever you may be listening to your podcast, 100% free. If you're not able to join us live, you'll still be able to get all of the latest episodes. Joey, we got the ZOZO Championship here, the 5th event of the FedEx Cup Fall this year. A couple of new additions to the schedule, but this is one that's been a staple here in the fall the last couple of years out in Japan, as this tournament is actually just about to get underway in a couple of minutes. So we know we're having a show a little bit late, but figure we'd jump in here and go through our outright bets this week, especially as Joey's coming off of a JT Postman winner last week at the Shriners Children's Open, which really broke my heart that not only was I not able to be there, but wasn't able to see JT Poston, one of my favorite players on the PGA Tour, come through for a victory. But, you know, everything happens for a reason. I'm sure I'll be back out there next year. But, Joey, I'm sure the vibes are high for many different reasons. This is our first show that we've had since you officially tied the knot. So once again, congratulations there. High vibes rolling in from that, and also a little extra dough in the account from JT Poston cashing in Las Vegas. So how you feeling here this fine Wednesday night, my friend?
Hey, man, Lord knows I needed the money. Those bills were, they were pretty outrageous there for a minute. So yeah, definitely riding high after this weekend. And, I sent you that anytime touchdown parlay that just like the miracle lays that I keep like laying every week and getting like two off every single week for the past, I don't know how many weeks, and finally connected with one of those. So it was like everything came together on Sunday, and there's nothing better than not only hitting an outright, Jack, but winning your football bets and watching football and golf at the same time is like the sweetest feeling in the world. So it was a Bears bye week, so there was no opportunity for it to fail because they could not lose and break my heart that way. So vibes are definitely high. I'm sorry though, because I know that it's painful you not being there and the postman connecting. If there's any solace though, your boy had a very good week. So I'm at least hoping that can carry into this week for both of us as a show, as we get back in the fall swing of things here at the ZOZO. It's crazy that we're already here, man. I've got 2 years worth of show notes, it seems like, at this point. So, and we got the Keegan outright that we hit a couple years ago. So this place has been pretty decent to us, I think, over the years.
Yeah, I got good vibes from the ZOZO Championship, and fortunately, as my heart broke from JT Poston winning that tournament and me not having a dollar on him, nor being able to watch it in person, I did myself cash a couple of big football parlays on Sunday and Monday night. So that helped me out a little bit.
There you go.
Of course, thinking about the vibes of this tournament, Keegan Bradley. I remember a couple of years ago staying up till about 3:30, 4 in the morning at one of my good buddies' house to watch Keegan come through and cash that ticket. Last year, Colin Morikawa breaks his 2-year win drought to go and get the victory. And then we've also seen Hideki Matsuyama win this tournament. Tiger Woods, of course, won the inaugural ZOZO Championship out here in Japan back in 2019. And then even in 2020, when the tournament was moved to California because of COVID-19, Patrick Cantlay still went and took this thing down. So we've seen some pretty notable winners of this event, despite it being in the fall swing. And Joey, looking at the field here this week, it's definitely the best field of the entire fall, to put it simply. Xander Schauffele, Colin Morikawa, defending champion. As I mentioned, Hideki Matsuyama won in 2021. He's back. Sungjae Im, Sahith Theegala, Justin Thomas, Ricky Fowler, Will Zalatoris, Max Homa is playing as well. It's as good as it's going to get here in the fall. So I'm excited. I know the PGA Tour coverage isn't exactly what you would like it to be. I believe they're not having anything on TV until like 10 o'clock tonight, despite this thing literally starting as we're speaking.
When people are having their dinner and stuff, and
right, primetime TV time, we're not going to have it on air. They're probably showing like a rerun of the senior tour or something. And that's why I put in
the couples is out there having fun.
That's why I put in the banner at the bottom. The PGA Tour hates us because they don't want to reward the people that actually want to tune into this event. And you would think, going to like a unique market, a cool golf course that we don't get to see a lot of, obviously, they would try and market that bad boy up, particularly with all these notables in the field. 7 of the top 20 in the official world golf ranking are here, but yeah, kind of unfortunate that it seems like they don't really give a darn, and that's unfortunate because I think it's a good golf course, Joey. And
Yeah,
to
it
kind of
is.
give a little bit of a rundown on this golf course before we quickly get into the picks here, we've seen all of the winners at Accordia Golf Country. It's a long name. I apologize for butchering that. At Accordia, just
Hiroshino
Hiroshino Golf
or whatever.
Country Club. Yeah, it's a mouthful, but it's been a course that has provided a lot of tests that we like to see on the PGA Tour and that you don't really get in the fall swing. I mean, the Shriners, that's a winning score that's always, above -20. That's the same thing we saw at the Black Desert Championship a few weeks ago, the Procore. This is usually something in the mid-teens, and that's because it's a tough tee to green test. It's tree line golf course. You got to be a good total driver to get around this place, and there are 5 absolutely brutal long par 4. So you got to be a good ball striker. You got to be on top of your game with approach. I think bogey avoidance is a real big key to look at. It is tough to dive through the statistics because we don't get it on Rick Rungood or any of the websites that you may be using to get golf statistics. But from based on the winners, Joey, it seems pretty clear that ball striking and just limiting mistakes kind of seem to be the focal points of this golf course. JT, Morikawa, Hideki, Keegan, even all efficient drivers of the golf ball that are known for their approach shots. And just even looking at kind of the setup of this golf course, some comp courses that I look at, TPC Southwind with the Zoysia grass fairways that it has, it's kind of a rarity on the PGA Tour. Same with Eastlake, has Zoysia grass fairways, and they're kind of courses that play a little bit tighter and give an emphasis on ball striking. Another one that I'm looking at is Colonial Country Club, where I was actually at this year, and Davis Riley ended up outdueling Scotty Scheffler. That's annually one of the tougher courses on the PGA Tour, despite not being the longest. And that's kind of what we see here just outside Tokyo this week. Course is only 7,000 yards. It's a par 70 with 3 par 5s, and it is a stern test. So I wish we would be able to see more of it on TV, but I'm definitely looking towards ball striking, bogey avoidance, and kind of some little course history gems. Colin Morikawa, Zoysia grass fairways, what was kind of a tidbit that I saw a lot of people going to when tipping this event last year. So those are kind of the things that I dove into. But I know we're running short on time here, Joey, just because you got some things to do this afternoon. So I figure we can just go right over to the betting board and talk about how we went about building our cards. I am curious to see if you went to anyone at the top, though, because as I mentioned, we've seen some pretty notables win this tournament every year. Xander Schauffele plus 450, Morikawa plus 650, Hideki 8-1, Sungjae 14, Sahith as big as 20, and then Justin Thomas 22-1. Out of those 6, you got any of them on your card this week?
Wow. It was tough. It was tough to decide if I wanted to go with the gala. That was the decision I was mulling over. Obviously Morikawa can do it here. We just saw it last year, and he pretty much destroyed the field. I mean, it wasn't really that competitive.
No.
With what he did here. So that really, scares me. Haven't seen a whole lot of these guys here, some of these guys here. So that's where I get a little bit, I think in years past, I've taken like made some stupid decisions in the fall with like one and done, and even some outrights, because I just don't know how seriously, I shouldn't say how seriously, there's still a check on the line. There's still points on the line. An outright's an outright for these guys, but or a win is a win. But I don't know how seriously I can go even at the top when, yes, this is a better field, and I do like it, and it is a tough course. It's one of the top 15 most difficult courses, it seems like, every year. But that being said, I did not get to any of the top 6 unless you named a name that I just didn't hear. But I did start, it seems like, just under that though. Jack, what did you get to anybody at the top?
Yeah, you kind of took the words right out of my mouth there. Like I feel like Xander and Morikawa really are probably going to win this thing. Xander, when like looking at my analytics, like he's head and shoulders above everyone. This course should set up perfectly for him, especially with the way that he was just playing throughout the, entirety of last season. And then Morikawa with his ball striking and how good he's been on Zoysia grass in terms of his approach numbers. Like, I think there's a good chance one of those two guys do win. But again, we haven't seen those guys outside of the President's Cup. They haven't played in any tournaments since Eastlake. So it's hard to go to guys at that number, even though they have that talent. And these types of guys usually do win this tournament. It's hard for me to, put $80 down on Colin Morikawa when I haven't seen him all fall. Same thing with Xander Schauffele at those odds. So yeah, I kind of feel the same way that you do. I didn't get to anyone under 20-1. If I did, though, I probably would have just gone all in on one of Xander or Colin. I really do like those guys the most. I actually went to Justin Thomas, though. I started off at Justin Thomas, who's been really good in non-cut tournaments throughout the course of his career. Give him 4 rounds. His ball striking's probably going to come through at some point. The ball striking really was good for Justin Thomas throughout most of last year. He just never could get the putter going, but I feel like he's got to be having a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, almost like what Colin Morikawa was having coming into this tournament last year. It's been a while for Justin Thomas, and it feels like this is a good golf course for his skill set. Can drive the ball well when things are going right. We know he's one of the best approach players in the world with incredible short game skills. It's just whether or not he's going to make enough putts, but quite honestly, with a winning score around 14, 15 under, it's not like Justin Thomas has to be racking up birdies and the putter needs to go nuclear. He just honestly needs to be like even or gain like one single stroke and let his ball striking do the rest of the work there. He also has experience at this golf course, although it was back in 2019, came T2 in 2020 when the tournament was actually out in California. And I remember having an outright on not only him, but also John Rahm as they both finished T2 and lost to Patrick Cantlay. That was one of my more painful ones. I remember I was still in college when that tournament was going down back in 2020 and I was heartbroken, but I'm trusting JT's upside here in a good number. I think it's a buy low spot for Justin Thomas. I don't know. I want to say it feels like only a matter of time for him, but maybe it doesn't happen. But it feels like this would be a good buy low spot for him. So out of the top big 6, if you will, I got to Justin Thomas. I also got to Kurt Kitayama, who I feel like you also might have started your card with this week, Joey. Is that it?
Good guess. It's a good guess. Yeah, that's it. That's where I started.
Yeah, I figure you started at Kurt Kitayama. I went there as well, my man. And just the ball striking. The biggest thing for me, I don't know if you felt the same way, it's just that Kurt Kitayama has been playing well during the fall. We've seen him out here in the fall. He's got good momentum. T9 last week at the Shriners. He's gained almost 17 strokes with his irons in his last 2 starts. The around the green has been really good. It's literally just been the putter for Kurt Kitayama. And absolutely, I do worry about that. But again, for the reasons I just outlined with Justin Thomas, like if he can just be a 1 or an even, the ball striking should do him a lot of favors here. Has also finished inside the top 30 each of the last 2 years in this tournament, albeit it is a 78-man field only, but still, has put up some decent numbers here and is having a strong fall. So, yeah, I'm in on Kurt Kitayama at 22-1.
Yeah, I love it. That is absolutely where I decided. I like what you said about Justin Thomas real quick, too. Like the buy low. It does feel like a buy low spot. I like the way that you're looking at that. On the other hand, when I look at Kitayama, the way that he's golfing right now, this is not a buy low spot. I don't necessarily love the price, but I just feel really good about it. And, the same way that you're kind of feeling about it, love the recent form. It seems like, you mentioned the smaller field here at the ZOZO, but gradually gotten better, T29 to T16. So he's gradually improved from his last couple trips here. So the other thing is over 76% greens in reg over his last 5 starts. First in strokes gain approach over the last 12 rounds. Tee to green over he's 9th tee to green over the last 24 rounds. So I like Kitayama. I think that was just a made sense to look at that direction, especially when I'm not on the top of the board. Just felt like a good spot for Kitayama for sure.
Definitely. One thing I like too about Kitayama, so the par 4s here, at this golf course. They're literally split in half. 5 of them are long, difficult par fours. The other 5 are true birdie opportunities where you're going to be hitting a lot of wedges. Kitayama, 8th in proximity from 125 to 150 yards, has been good with his wedges recently as well. So on those scoring holes, I like his chances of putting it close and hopefully converting on some birdies there. So yeah, we're seeing eye to eye on the Kitayama 22-1 number.
Nice. All
What
right.
else you got? What else you got here as we move down? We still got some notables. Minwoo 30, Bo Hostler 35, Willie Z 35, Mav McNeely 40, Siwoo, Doug Gim, JJ Spawn. What do you got from this 30 to we'll call it 30 to 60 range?
Yeah, I got two. The guy that you first mentioned, I'm on Minwoo, 33 to
Oh,
1. Rivers Enhanced. So I got that little
nice.
nice little chunk up there to 33. I was on him last year here actually. And he wound up finishing T6. I don't see a reason to hop off the wagon now when the odds are much better than where I got him last year. Last year was 18 to 1. Just seems like a really good spot for Minwoo Lee. Like his his course. This course seems to fit him well. And I think it's a good spot here at 33 to 1. So definitely going to take advantage of the price increase and not back down from the stance last year. Doug Gim,
Ooh,
45 to 1.
the pride of Buffalo Grove.
Yeah, man. It was interesting watching him kind of, put a little scare into me last week.
I forgot to ask you about that. Sorry to interrupt. How bad was your heart beating when Poston missed a 3-footer on 17?
Whoa, man. I thought he had it in the bag until that 3-foot. I'm like, do not open this door, my friend. Like, what are we doing here? I couldn't believe he missed that.
And then has to go make a 4-footer on 72.
Yeah, no, it should have not got to that point. I was about to shit my pants and just get really, really angry. But luckily everything worked out. But Doug Gim was one of those guys. I'm watching him and I'm like, man, I really want this guy to do well and win. Just not this week, man. Just not this week. So if I could take advantage of it this week, now the next week, 45 to 1. I just feel like he's knocking on the door right now. He's recently in recent form, 4th in greens gained, 13th in total driving, 6th in strokes gained approach over the last 12 rounds, 4th over the last 24 rounds, 2nd tee to green, 5th in bogey avoidance. I think he's bubbling. Like the spider senses are tingly. Like I think the Shriners, 2nd at the Shriners last week. Now this week could be the week for, like you said, the Buffalo Grove man, Doug Gim. I'm hoping. I think 45 is a good price for him.
He's one of the people left off my card this week that I am most worried about for sure, because he is absolutely striping the golf ball. The only reason I didn't is just the narrative I built in my head of flying from Vegas after a little bit of a defeating loss.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I hate. It's tough when they go through when they're that close. I do hate that the next week when it's like that feeling of, especially if you're not a guy that wins regularly.
It's especially because it was a chance for him to get his first one. But literally, this could all mean nothing. It's just the narrative I built in my head. Doug Gim can certainly go and win this tournament with the way that he's been striking his ball from tee to green. It, again, just feels like it's one of those things that comes down to the putter for Doug Gim this week, whether he makes enough putts or not.
100%. Yeah, that putter, it's got to get good. It's got to get going, which, like you said about JT, he won't have to make a ton of putts, just avoid the do the bogey avoidance thing.
Right. All right, so what else you got from this we'll call it 50 to 100 here. I actually don't have anything in that middle tier. The next bet, I don't have anything until 75 to 1. So if you got anything in between there, let me know.
I have nothing, and I only say that if we're looking at the odds checker odds, I do have a couple, but I didn't get those at those prices. So I got them at 75 and 80 to 1. So maybe right on that 70 range. I don't know. What do you got though?
Okay. Well, the one person I was looking at in the middle here is your boy Johnny Vegas Bombs, who I did bet last week in Vegas and continues to hit the golf ball really well. And the putter is actually started to come alive for Johnny Vegas a little bit. So I was looking at him, but didn't ultimately end up getting there. I have 3 bets before 100. I got to My boy Mac Meisner, 75-1, someone who I watched a lot of in the regular season. And I told myself, like, I got to give this guy an opportunity in the fall because I think he really does have game. So I like Mac Meisner. I got him 75-1. Andrew Putnam, I got it 80-1. Runner-up finisher in the past and is striking the golf ball as well as he's literally ever striked it here so far in the fall with his approach numbers. So Andrew Putnam, 80-1. And then Ricky Fowler, 80-1, showing a little
Oh,
signs of life. Ricky loves coming out here, finished runner-up to our boy Keegs a couple of years ago, and the numbers have started to come back for Rick. I can buy into a Rick that's showing me good numbers. This isn't just like he's an 80-1 and I know his name, like I'm throwing a flyer out there. Ricky's been kind of starting to put it together. So I got those three under 100-1. What do you got?
this is gonna be really stupid, but I know where we build our models from. Is Ricky running good?
Ricky's running better. Let me pull up Ricky's stat profile here real quick. I actually thought I had it pulled up. Shame on me for not. Um, where is Ricky? There's old Ricky Fowler. So here we go. Last week in Vegas, finished T24, gained 4.5 strokes off the tee, 3.5 with his approach. Finished T16 at the Sanderson Farms Championship, where he gained strokes in all 4 categories. Gained strokes in 3 of the 4 categories last week in Vegas, just only dropped 1.4 strokes around the green. The ball striking's been there for Rick. I know if he's right, he can hang with the big dogs, and high-profile players usually win this thing. Ricky has good history here as well, like I mentioned. Well, kind of spotty history, but that's kind of the name of his career. It's like, where's Ricky Fowler at in the stage of his career? You know, it kind of depends. T2 when he was rolling right, T64 when he wasn't. But yeah, he's running okay. 80-1 I thought was a good enough number for me to jump on.
Yeah, that's a good price for Ricky. I think that's definitely worth a gamble in that spot. And like you said, we didn't get to this before at the top of the show, but we're trying to get into the bets. But I was looking at last year, only 63% greens and reg for the field last year at the ZOZO. Should we? Obviously, that means we need to look at approach, and that's every week, anyways. But approach, tee to green. Uh, does that mean we need to look a little bit more into around the green too? Um, I, and I only because of what you were saying about his around the green not being that great. Um, I was also thinking that we should, but I didn't really do a great job of making sure that was a part of what I was looking at this week.
Yeah, I definitely do think it's something to worth looking at just because of those tough par fours. Like those are really those 5 holes are the ones that are going to challenge the players the most. So maybe it's not like the biggest thing, but it is something that I definitely kept in mind. Andrew Putnam, really good short game, and that's another reason I really like Xander Schauffele first in this field in bogey avoidance. Man, guy really does a good job of getting out of harm's way. But yeah, it is definitely something to look at just for those 5 holes in particular, though.
That
It's
makes
not it's
sense.
not like a
Yeah.
major test, but you're gonna need it at some spots.
Yeah, and that's even more scary, like you're saying about Xander. Um, on the other hand of that, though, too, Colin has dominated this course, and he's not exactly Mister around the green. So,
Right. Right. Which is an area that actually he's gotten better at this last year, which is another reason to like Colin Morikawa this week too.
yeah,
That's why I really liked those 2 guys at the top. I'm a little scared of them. But who do you got in
yeah,
this range so we can get you on out of here, buddy?
yeah, absolutely. So, popped the old bonus bet on Mister Chan Kim. Um,
Oh, the fortune teller?
yeah, the fortune teller, 80-1. I'm spinning the dial again because I was on him last week.
Okay.
So doing it again here at the Zozo. Putting is
You're
really
team no
been,
putt this week. You're just straight team no putt.
yeah, no, we're not looking at that. At zero shot. We're looking at that this week and hoping we're getting lucky with some guys getting hot. But
It's not a bad method this week.
he his putting has really been the bugaboo, obviously. Tee to green, he's 7th in strokes gain over the last 24. Very good approach and around the green, recent form as well. Seems to pop in that model that I was looking at yours actually that you built. Very good from that bucket too that you were mentioning, that 125 to 150 yard bucket. So a couple other reasons there to really like Chan Kim. I think it's a decent price. Rico Hoy, Rico 75-1. So I kind of went in reverse. The longest odds that I have this week. So and I shouldn't even say so far. I'm not betting anybody else. Tournament's already here. Is 80-1 with Chan Kim, but Rico Hoy 75-1. He's another guy I was on last week and used a bonus bet on last week. This week I put my real dollars on it at the Shriners. So he was right there in it for the most part. Wound up finishing T3. He's been really good off the tee and tee to green. Approach has been all right. Strong greens and reg percentage, over 70% greens in regulation. So I think that could be a factor here as well. Yeah, I don't know. Do you have anybody that's like long, like past 100? I don't have anybody.
That's all I got left. By the way, I do want to get in there. I think the world of Rico Hoy. I think the world of that kid. I saw him play in Detroit. I actually saw him play down in Texas too, and I'm like, boy, this guy hits the fuck out of the golf ball. Rico Hoy is going to be a stud. I'm all aboard. And he's got the studs in too. I fucking love that. Just be different out there on the golf course. There's so much bland. There's so much boring. That's why I love the Camille Vegas fucking popped collar. I'm like, dude, just do something swaggy out there to make it fucking. It's golf, you know. Make yourself unique.
Yeah, man. It's the very reason why people jump on the Joel Damon train, because he makes it fun, right? Like he might suck every single week, but do we care? No, we're entertained. We like Joel. So, I mean, it's exactly, I saw an interview. I don't remember which tournament it was from now. There was an interview where a guy, it was one of the media members, just like cut him off and was like, and I know this wasn't you, just like cut him off and basically was like, oh, yeah, we want to get you off the mic now. It was like, yeah, okay. So like, I guess we're done here. Like, we want to get you off the mic now. It was like live, like picking it up during the interview. It's like, that's kind of fucked up.
That's,
like
the PGA Tour.
To the next.
Classic.
PGA
Who do they
Tour.
want to market? Nobody.
Just assholes, man. Just assholes. So yeah, all the production that goes behind the scenes, and not all of it, but that goes into promoting this brand, they do not do a good enough job of it. We can say it every week, but yeah, I do like Rico Hoy. He's a cool dude. He's entertaining.
Absolutely. I got two bombs for you before we get on out of here. Davis Riley, 250-1. I mentioned Colonial Country Club. I think it is a good comp course. I think Colonial is a good comp course to this. And Davis Riley, there is certainly a low floor there. He could be all over the place, and it's a no-cut event, and he could end up withdrawing because he's so far back. But the upside is there with Davis Riley. Obviously is a two-time winner on the PGA Tour. There just isn't that consistency in his game, but there is the upside. And just looking at his numbers, I absolutely worry about him off the tee. He's dropped strokes off the tee in 6 straight events. However, he did gain 2.5 strokes on the approach last week at the Shriners. I'm wondering if that could maybe be a little bit of a turning point. And prior to that, his short game has been terrific. He's gained at least 2 strokes putting in each of his last 4 starts. Might have to rely on that a little heavy this week, but we've seen Davis Riley in the midst of a slump, literally didn't have his only finish inside the top 25 before winning the Charles Schwab was a T14 in Houston. So he had one single top 30 finish, really had missed cuts, and then wound up and won a PGA Tour event where Scotty Scheffler was in the field. So I think the upside is possible with Davis Riley. I think this is a course that could suit his game if it goes right. So I got him 250-1. And then it's a yearly special, Joey. You should know. We've done the show 2 years in a row. I got to have money on Satoshi Kataira, 600-1. Every year I got to have Satoshi Kataira. So yeah, that's where I finish things out at.
That's not bad. I actually really do like the price on Davis Riley too. I think I've been let down too many times by him taking like flyers, and then also like times where he was like 40-1 and just didn't pan out on courses that I thought he should. But 250-1, that's worth the gamble then. I like that.
I agree. And Satoshi Kataira, he pops up every now and again. And this has been a spot where he's played pretty well. I don't know if he's got the goods to go and beat some of these big boys, but I'll pay that price to go and take a chance and have a little bit fun on a long shot there. So any final thoughts before, we got to get to one and done. One and done.
Can't miss that. You were trying to get right out at 30. I know it.
I was trying to do my best. I'm going to go with Andrew Putnam.
I like it. Solid choice.
Did you use Tom Kim as your one? You did use Tom Kim as your one and done last week. What a way to burn him.
Dude, I know how to pick them in the fall.
Yeah,
I'm telling
you do.
I know how to pick my
Never
one and
forget
done.
the Tommy Fleetwood one and done here 2 years ago. One of the best of all time.
At the ZOZO,
one of the
literally.
best of all time. The Fleetwood one and done. I don't know. It's not even like that random, and I don't know why it makes me laugh that hard, but I just think it's so funny because it's such a random time to use them.
It was a super random time, but it's like, dude, I was so confident, and it was so bad.
It happens.
Wasn't it? What did he finish?
I think he finished 73rd. I have it. I have him right here. Let me pull him up and find it. Yeah, Tommy Fleetwood finished 73rd.
I can't pick somebody who.
Just kidding. He finished 53rd.
Oh, okay. Well, it's bad enough with the short field.
Who'd you use last year?
Pretty terrible.
Was this me or was this you? Fuck. It's hard for me to remember sometimes.
Yeah, you used Tommy Fleetwood.
You used Cam Davis here last year. I used Cam Champ. We used the Cams here last year.
Oh, okay. Are they even here?
None
of them are here.
Champ might be. I know Davis isn't.
Champ's here. Yeah, Davis.
No, I don't think Champ's here is actually.
Man, what the hell do I do? I don't want to pick Doug Gim because I don't think he has like a much of a track record here, but he didn't do anything here before.
Why don't you go with you could go with Rico.
I could.
You go with Doug Gim. I really don't think you're going to regret using Doug Gim in the fall.
Yeah, you're probably right, but
you could use Kitayama too. I don't think you're really going to bat an eye about Kitayama. I don't know why I'm giving you advice, but
I don't know either. But I'm just looking at my outright, so it's like literally the people that you're saying are the ones I'm like mulling between. Chan Kim also, I was thinking, but
yeah, you could use Chan, the 4chan teller.
The 4chan.
If Rico Hoey wins, I need you to post a video on X going, "Give me a Hoya."
All right, you got my word. I'll try to. I'll try to bust that out.
The old John Jones.
Oh my god! All right, let's just go with. Man, this is gonna be terrible. I don't care. It's like I have to pick somebody that's gonna do trash every week. So let's just pick Doug Gim.
Yeah, I like the Doug Gim pick.
I think that's the most likely guy that's gonna suck this week, though, after the T2. So let's just go for it.
I mean, he's striking the shit out of the ball. Good bogey avoidance. I like him here. I think you'll be fine.
All right.
I know we got to get you on out of here. Thank you to everyone who joined in. I know it was a late show as the ZOZO Championship is already underway, but definitely did want to get our final bets out there. You never know what's going to happen this weekend, and if we get a winner, it would be a shame if we didn't do a show. So, Joey, I appreciate you knocking this out with me here real quick, and appreciate everyone who joined us on the show. It's going to be a couple of off weeks for the PGA Tour following this week's ZOZO Championship, but Joey and I are hoping to be back for at least one, hopefully a couple of the final 3 fall swing events, the RSM Classic, the Bermuda, and the Worldwide Technology Championship, I think, are the last 3 that we got. So everyone stay tuned for that. Best of luck this week with the PGA Tour in Japan. Hope everyone cashes those tickets. Hope we do as well. Until next time, crack 'em, lock 'em. We'll see ya on the next episode.